Yo, welcome to Sprawl Brawl. It is episode number 77? 76? 76. Episode number 76. I was almost right there. I am Matt. Welcome to the show. We have Steiner here as well. Talking about MMA and stuff.
The fighting.
The fighting.
The fighting. The fighting.
A lot of fights happened this weekend.
Mm.
So we got stuff to talk about, that's for sure. MegaSearcher.com, go check out that website. VODs and MP3s are all available there. Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, and wherever else you find podcasts, we are also available there. And if you want to watch us live, we're here every Monday. It's December 4th today. And we are live on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, and we're known as Mega Scorcher TV on those sites. So let's just kick it off with Tough 26. The last episode of the season before the finale happened on Wednesday, and it was Montefiore versus Eubanks. And it was a really one-sided fight. Eubanks just punched Montefiore a lot. The first round was the most competitive.
First round was fairly close. The second round was going in Roxanne's favor until she got her back taken, and then it kind of got into a very weird position for a long time. That she was kind of in a neck crank, but yet her hips were turned into guard, but yet her body wasn't. And then it just kind of sat there for like 2 minutes with Eubanks trying to submit her, I guess, but wasn't actually even close to submitting her. But I guess she was in the dominant position-ish. The second round was very weird. And then the third round, Eubanks just essentially kicked the shit out of her, which was very surprising.
I guess so. Montefiore doesn't do too well when she gets hit a lot, so. But that's what she does very good, is that she defends and doesn't get hit a lot usually. So you don't see that weakness in her too often because she doesn't get hit a lot. But in this fight, she did not look too good, and she got tired.
Yes, she did get tired, which was surprising. I think it was just Eubanks' strength kind of drained her pretty quick when they went into the grappling exchanges.
So Eubanks had difficulty making weight for this one as well.
No, well, this one, no, she made weight. She made 125.
Yeah, she made it, but
she had to go to the UFC center to get advice on how to make the weight.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, that was that episode.
Yeah.
And then we went on to Friday to find out that Eubanks actually, she got liver failure from trying to cut weight.
Something like that, yeah.
And so she could not make the finals and got replaced with Montefiore. So the finals would now be Nico Montagna versus Soraya Eubanks.
No, Soraya Eubanks.
Sorry.
That was supposed to be the final.
That was supposed to be.
But it was Roxana.
Yeah, it was Roxanne. Whoops.
Which is what I expected the finale to be, and end up being the finale. So that was kind of weird in the way it happened.
And then the fight was super one-sided.
I don't agree with the judges though on that. But
I thought it was super one-sided, dude. The first round was close, but then after
Roxana knocked her down twice in 2 different rounds, and yet she only won 1 round. Like I don't know, man. Like
I
agree that Nico won the fight. I would give it like 48-47.
Yeah.
But like one of the judges gave it a 50-45, which I do not see on how that's even possible.
I'm not opposed
I
to
can
the
kind of understand.
45.
Okay. I don't know what fight you were watching, but look at Nico's face at the end of the fight.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Like I agree it was a very close fight, and a couple of those rounds could have kind of gone either way to a point, but like
the last three, I don't think so. The last 3 rounds are pretty one-sided, I thought.
I would say the last 2 rounds were quite one-sided. Round 1, 2, and 3. Round 1 and 2 were pretty close. 3 was a little bit more towards Nico, and then 4 and 5 were kind of
Overall, the whole night, whatever. This card is okay. The main card was whatever.
The O'Malley was interesting.
The fight wasn't bad. I totally agree with the score. It was totally 29-28.
Yeah.
Sean, was it the first round that he got punched a lot? There's one of those rounds where he didn't do so well.
Yeah,
it was the first one, wasn't it?
I think it was the second.
Either way, one of these rounds he did not do so well, but the other rounds he picked it up. It wasn't that great, though.
I think he lost the second round and then came back, crushed him in the third round. The third round was pretty one-sided.
And then because of the Roxanne Montefiore mix-up, Lauren Murphy got to face Barb Honchak, and I thought this fight could have went either way. It was really close. Not exciting either. That's the thing. I was all these fights. I felt very meh about. Like this TKO body kick by Gerald Mearshant over Eric Spicely was okay.
Yeah, no, that was because he hit that 2 or 3 times and then finished with it. So it was that like I remember watching going, oh
yes.
The thing is, the first round, Spicely had his back for like 4 minutes. Like he was on the back for 4, like, so it just, then he came back and then won it in like the next round. So Spicely obviously tired himself out or something like that, or he just wasn't good enough on the feet, period. So yeah, but just that liver kick was
nice kick. Fight was okay.
Yeah, and then
Deanna Bennett versus
and then
Melinda Fabian.
Yeah, Fabian won, but because she grabbed the fence, she got a draw.
Well, I don't know how I feel about this because it was a super obvious fence grab.
Yeah,
she got
no, she grabbed it twice in the same takedown, and that's why he took the points.
Okay, I thought that she just held on super long, and that's why he took it.
Both, like she grabbed, and then let go, and then grabbed again. He knocked her hand away, and she still didn't let go.
And this was Big John, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because earlier there was something that happened that was very.
He even warned her earlier about grabbing the fence, and then she grabbed it, let go, grabbed it again. So she was just using the fence to stop the takedown.
I was about to say that the reffing tonight was not great, but actually that was Saturday. Friday night's reffing was.
Yeah, Herb Dean had the weird call, and then
Herb Dean fucked up a few calls on Saturday.
Yeah, there was another weird one. I don't know. One of the ones I'm thinking of, I don't think it was Herb Dean. I think it was someone else.
Yes, there was another one that was weird. But then the main, the first fight of the main card was actually really good. Brett Johns got a fucking calf slicer on Joe Soto. That was a weird one, man, because they were like rolling around and their legs got tangled up, and while they got tangled up, he kind of like got a figure 4 on the calf and just fucking bent it like a mofo, and he tapped out. He tapped out really fast.
Yes. Boy, it's very painful, and you can tear your ACL and MCL.
He was pulling from the fucking foot too, so it could fuck up a bunch of shit.
Yep. And my wife was watching that and she like didn't understand why he tapped, and I'm like, "Do you want me to put you in that and see how quick you tap?" And she's like, maybe not."
Yeah, because
then she watched the replay and going, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, because it's pulling on your knee, it's putting pressure on your calf, and it's
just
also
the calf, and like if you put like, I don't know if you've ever had your
calves
massaged,
right?
or it's horribly painful. And then on top of what was happening to your knee, like I've had that. Like when I was playing rugby, I was in a ruck, and then the ruck collapsed behind me, and then I was pushed over. So I had a human body on my leg, and then a human body on top of me, which was like putting pressure on my leg or on my knee, which I almost popped my MCL on that. And oh my god, that was so fucking painful. Like it probably was only about 4 seconds long, but it felt like it was 2 minutes. Like it was ridiculous.
Hey, your elbows and knees aren't supposed to bend like that.
No, well, elbows actually aren't, like the way the elbow's designed's not too bad, but yeah, your knee is definitely not supposed to go that far.
Oh, your elbow can do it a little bit, but If it's any amount of
the
pressure,
ligaments
it's
in the
gonna
elbow are
get
slightly
fucked.
different than the ligaments in the knee.
Oh yeah, but anything where you're meant to bend, like your fingers, your fucking, even your toes.
Well, the thing is, you're supposed to bend like that. It's just that if there's something in between there, that's it becomes a second class lever and kind of your ligaments give before whatever harder.
It's literally you're literally like pulling the knee apart, and same
exactly.
with your ankle when you're fucking pulling on it. You're like pulling it the opposite way that it's supposed to go.
Yep. And the ligaments aren't designed to handle that with all that much stress.
And then the prelims were actually really good. I liked watching all of the prelims actually because they all ended. The arm bars from all the ladies tonight. Jesus Christ! This was the most arm bars in one night. 3. 3. So it started off with an arm bar. Jillian Robertson defeated Emily Whitmire in a minute. This was a really quick arm bar. You didn't really.
I didn't see the early prelims, so I saw the other two.
In real time, you kind of didn't see it because it kind of just rolled and bam, the armbar just happened. Like she was standing on her feet and it's just like it happened really fast. Shauna Dobson and then Ariel Beck started off the Fox Sports 1 prelims. I'm not surprised that Beck got TKO'd.
Neither am I.
I don't know. I don't even know why she fights. She cries a lot. She doesn't seem like she's into it that much. I would probably stop fighting if I were her. So yeah, she got punched in the face a lot and she got TKO'd. Then Rachel Ostovich Burton versus Karine, whatever her last name is. Okay. We should mention that she missed weight.
Missed weight by 5.5 pounds. Like what?
And 30% of her money went to Rachel.
Yeah, I think that's the second worst miss I've heard of. That like I think I was watching
the UFC,
something they were talking about.
Sure.
But they were talking. I think it was the 4th worst in the UFC history.
Because I remember a dude that was supposed to be fighting light heavyweight, and he was pretty much weighing in as a heavyweight. I don't remember where that was though. I do not remember.
Because who am I thinking? I think I'm.
Oh, anyways, hey, this was another arm bar.
Yes, it was very fast. A minute 40 into the first. Like it was.
She kind of like rolled into it.
Yeah.
Like she was. She didn't like. She got a triangle at first. I don't know what was it. The triangle that she had at first. She rolled over, and then like both of her arms were in there, and then it was just like, oh, I guess I'll get the arm bar. Because it's right there. I can't believe she gave it up. Like that's, dude.
Yeah.
Arm bars should be easy to defend. They should not even be happening in the first place.
Oh.
And not like this. Not like this. Not like this fight. This was such a fucking obvious thing to defend. Fucking stand up. What are you doing? They'll put your arm there. Oh, there you go. You lost. Like that, it was fully her own fault. Like Rachel just is. Oh, hey, here's the arm. I'll pull on it. And I like Rachel a lot, so I hope that she goes on to do some awesome stuff.
Well, I guess with what Max was talking about the show in Hawaii, that he says there was like 8 signed or 9 signed UFC fighters from Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
they could totally do it with her.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's my second favorite mom in the UFC. Second favorite
after Karate Hottie.
Yes. And then, oh my god, this next fight, fucking Jesus Christ, this fight was amazing. Did you watch this?
Yes.
Ryan James versus Andrew Sanchez. My god, yeah. Ryan James was just walking forward with his hands down the whole time, getting punched in the face over and over and over. And I thought it was done in the first round. I thought he was done.
Yes, that was in the first round. But then in the second round,
well, Andrew just got tired so much. He punched him so fucking much in that first round.
First round was 72-50, which actually 50 shots is still more than I thought it would have been.
And then that's the weird thing. He was throwing, but he wasn't landing the devastating shots in that first round.
And then the second round was 40-120, and then it was 1-30 for the TKO.
That third round and that TKO, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He went down.
Or it was. I think it was more exhaustion than.
Yeah, but he
More so
crumpled. He's fucking.
Yes, but I think it was a lot to do with exhaustion.
Yes, like he wasn't like
done.
He wasn't unconscious. It was just like, oh, I'm on the ground now.
I'm done. Fuck this shit.
And then another armbar ended the main event of the prelims. Montana De La Rosa defeated Christina Marks. 2 minutes in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of armbars.
3 fast armbars.
This was technically the best armbar. Like she got her on the ground, she had to roll around, and then finally she got the arm, and like she fucking yanked on that shit. Like it was like a legit armbar where both of their backs were on the ground, and she was fucking yanking on it. The other ones were just like rolling around, and it kind of happened, which is not bad. It's still technical, but this one was like she got it. She really went in there to get it. And that was the tough finale. It was okay. Nothing amazing. There was also a Bellator happening.
Yeah, I did not watch any of this.
I did watch some of it. Who's that guy that was in the prelims? That was Sam Cecilia, who was in the UFC. He lost, I believe.
No, he won.
Oh yeah, that fight.
Unanimous decision.
Yeah, no, that fight was not that great. I was expecting those two to go at it, and they did not really go at it. A lot of feeling each other out and not really doing anything. I watched some of the main card. The Chidi Njokuani versus Hisaki Kato fight was good. Chidi moved in and out and hit him in the face a lot. That was the story.
I'm confused about that main event on. I didn't see it,
Bellator?
but like the judges are very weird on that.
On Bellator?
Yeah. You got a 49, 46, 49, 46, 47, 48.
So, yeah, well, it's split. It's not that bad. As far as splits go, it's not that bad.
But you got 48 and 40. The other two judges saw it as a 46 for that fighter. So
I didn't. That's
2 rounds off. Like that is.
I did not watch that fight because it was going on during the UFC. So.
Yeah.
I watched Juliana Velasquez. She defeated Na Liang with an armbar. The night of the armbars. Na Liang, she's Asian, so she likes to get hit in the face a lot and move forward and not defend it. Like, God, what is up with Asian fighters and getting hit a lot? Fucking defend. Do something about it.
Yeah.
And what else did I watch? I guess that's about all I can comment on that I actually watched. And then there's the Ultimate Fighter. UFC 218.
18, yeah.
Aired after the Ultimate Fighter finale, and that was my God, the main card. The main card. Holy shit! This might be the best main card of the year. Except maybe for Henry Cejudo. That fight was not so great, but everything else, it was pretty good. If it wasn't for UFC 217, which is nothing's gonna beat it at this point, in my opinion. This is probably the second best main card of the year. Anyways, let's start with the main event. Why not? Max Holloway defeated Jose Aldo. Pretty much exactly like the first fight.
Well, Aldo in the first fight won the first round.
I would argue that he might have won the first round too with the leg kicks.
No, he didn't.
Well, maybe the second round.
I don't even know if he threw.
Oh, he threw a lot of leg kicks in the first round.
No, in the second round, I believe he threw. Like, he only threw about 8 leg kicks through the 3 rounds. So you're only talking like 2 or 3 leg kicks a round.
All right, then.
So.
I could still see the argument of giving the first 2 rounds to Aldo.
In this fight? Hell no.
I could still see the argument. Either way.
Strikes 25-18 first round, 41-31 in the second round, and then 108-38 in the third round. So no, I'm pretty sure Aldo did not win a single round.
You make it seem like it was crazy. The difference. It wasn't. It was the third round was crazy. The third round was crazy.
Even the first and second round, like it was. not the same. Like Aldo was almost hesitant. He didn't want to blow his load like he did first.
Oh yeah, yes,
So
No,
he was more reserved.
He was not throwing as much as he was in the first.
And then, but Max still got him to do some big exchanges that he just whiffed on his shot. Like he was swinging for the fence and hit absolutely nothing on multiple occasions. So it was just, and then Max just picked him apart in the third round once he was just utterly exhausted. And again, this was another one that it was more so Aldo collapsed from exhaustion than actual strikes or like a single shot knocking him down. It's just he dropped from exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went for a takedown after he dropped from exhaustion, which just reminded me of McGregor against Diaz. That actually was kind of from a shot more so than just pure exhaustion.
Mm-hmm. That fight was okay. The true event of the night, though, Francis Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem ended with a fucking shot from hell. It was like an uppercut right to the fucking head.
Okay, these numbers are weird.
It was a left. Dude, he hit him with a left.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't even his right.
Like, on the UFC site, they're giving Ngannou a minute 3 of control. So sure. It was one shot knockout, and then he finished it off with like 2 hammer fists that should not have happened. Because Overeem was already the fuck unconscious.
Yes. So who was the ref on this one?
I think it was Big John.
Yeah, so he could have ended it early for sure.
I think it was just he had to run to him. He was 4 steps away, and by the time he got there, he had already.
A similar situation in another fight earlier.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up right now. Eddie Alvarez versus Justin Gaethje. That fight was goddamn amazing. Maybe fight of the year. There's a few fight of the years contenders that happened.
There's also even in the prelim earlier prelim.
Yeah, for sure. So
I only saw the third round of this
of Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure what happened to Alvarez's face. I just saw the aftermath of just like it looked like his jaw.
That happened in the second round. So in the first round, it was really close. They were swinging back and forth. That was a really tough round for me to call. I would have probably given it to Eddie Alvarez, but that first round, man, they were trading, and I think they both knocked down each other at one point in that first round.
They have no knockdowns, like listed at all.
All right, but that first round,
which is not true. Because what? How there are no knockdowns? So the numbers on this are jacked. They're not right.
Pretty sure there was a knockdown for each.
Well, I saw 2 knockdowns in the third, and they're not listed here, so I don't understand that.
Anyway, so the first round was really close. It was really close. I don't know who to give it to. And then in the second round, Justin was starting to slow down, and Eddie was starting to pick up. I wouldn't call that round a blowout, but you could tell that it was definitely Eddie.
Yeah, that's what I noticed in this third round.
That's the thing about Gaethje, though.
Fucking exhausted.
That's the thing about Gaethje, though. Even when he is fucking exhausted, he could still fucking hit you with a punch that hurts you very badly. But it did not happen in this fight. Eddie got a knee that actually hurt.
Well, that knee was
very
ridiculous.
Badly. Oh yeah, it torqued his head back very he was looking backwards.
Well, Gaethje's mouth was open, and it was just boom, and then just
and then he fell over. And that's when it should have just been over right there. But not her.
Herb Alvarez went up like this, and then noticed that the ref wasn't running fast enough, so he hit him in the head
like 2 or 3 times after.
It should have just been over.
The knee should have been over. Yes, 100%. I looked at the replay, and Herb Dean, when the knee happened, he kind of just stood there, and then he only started running there when he was on the ground. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was weird. Yeah. Fucking brutal fight for both of them. Like you said, Eddie in the second round got punched in the face, and he probably cracked his cheekbone or something.
Yeah,
because
dude, he had a giant fucking holy fuck! I've never seen it where it was. Yeah, I don't know if he had a tooth knocked out or if it was the jawline. It just swelled.
Oh, and that's another thing too. During the knee, you could see something white leaving Justin's mouth. I don't know if it was
assuming
a tooth.
That was I don't know. I noticed that as well, but I thought it was just spit.
Okay, but it was probably just spit, but it went pretty far, and that shit went flying.
Yeah,
All right. And then the first fight of the pay-per-view was Tisha Torres versus Michelle Waterson. Waterson's just too small.
Yeah.
She's just too small.
Well, the thing, Torres, yeah, like Torres is a fucking tank though as well. So she, all in all, is probably physically one of the stronger in the division.
Well, and whenever Michelle got it to the
just
ground,
idiotically showed on this.
Yeah. Well, whenever Michelle got it to the ground, it did not stay there for very long.
No.
And that was like her one weapon.
Yep.
And she couldn't use it. So
and
that was the story of the fight.
Looked utterly exhausted by the end of it. Like
exhausted,
Torres
and
was
she
still
got
ready to
she
go.
got hit in the face a lot.
Yeah.
In this fight.
Like Torres looked like she could have easily done 2 more rounds.
Did you notice that she had both Winklejohn and Jackson in her corner?
No.
Usually they only do one of them.
Mm.
They were both there. I was like, sweet. But it didn't pay off.
No.
They gave her good advice, but
it's just, too small. I think she is too small.
Oh, 100%. If there was 105 atom weight in
like
the UFC, that's where it would be. But you know, her options are limited if she wants to stay in the UFC.
Yes, she'd probably be getting paid 4 times as much in the UFC than she would be in Invictus.
Yes,
so
and she gets way more exposure. That leads
being a
to
gatekeeper in the UFC at 115 financially is a much better choice.
Mm-hmm. And
she's still good. She'll still be top 10. There's no question about that. It's just, will she be a title contender? Likely not. She's just
anybody who has skills and power should be able to beat Michelle.
Yeah,
should be.
Yeah,
for the division.
Well, but again though, she is talented, so she could get a kick in there and knock you the fuck out, or armbar you, or something.
Kick you, knock you down, and then choke you out. She can do a lot of stuff.
Like she can do something. It's just that just makes her a gatekeeper opposed to an actual contender.
Mm-hmm. And then the main event of the prelims on Fox Sports 1, Paul Felder defeated Charles Oliveira, TKO in the second round, 4 minutes. This was an interesting fight. I thought Paul was maybe losing the fight up until he got the KO. I can see how the numbers would maybe not show that, Steiner. Okay, but
sorry,
the numbers
which
don't.
fight? Sorry, Felder. Oh, Felder.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I agree with that completely. The first round started off very bad for Felder.
Mm-hmm.
He got into a couple. It started off as a guillotine and then went into a possible darce.
Yeah, the second one he was in there. He was in there. It was crazy that he got out, and that's probably why he did actually win the fight, because Charles did probably put a lot into those two chokes.
Too much into it, yeah. And again, Oliveira has been 145er for quite a few years, and now he's trying to move up because the cut, I guess, is too harsh, or he's just not seeing any movement within that division. I'm not 100% sure, but he lost 2 fights at 45, moves up, beats Will Brooks, okay, and then fought again at 55 and got dominated by a very large 155er.
Oh, so hey, he won Paul Felder with a TKO.
Yeah.
Elbows, those elbows are crazy.
Yeah.
It was a good fight.
And again,
the problem with this fight, though,
he tapped.
Yeah, he tapped to elbows. Yes.
Oliveira tapped, and then the ref didn't do anything, so Felder threw another 2, and then the ref finally said, "Okay, yeah, this is done." Well, why the fuck didn't you see that tap?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was referring to of the fuck up by the ref.
Oh, there was a lot of fuck ups.
Like he tapped like 5 times. Felder said, "Absolutely, I felt it," but the ref didn't do anything, so I had to finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't want to, but the ref didn't. Like he stopped, waiting for the ref to pull him off. He didn't, and then just threw 2 more elbows, and the ref was like, "Okay, yeah."
So the problem with this fight, though, honestly, is that it went after Yancy Medeiros and Alex Oliveira.
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah, and this happened in Sydney as well. Sydney had a fight a night contender in the prelims, and then everything after that was just like, who cares? But no, this card was actually good, so it recovered. But holy shit! Like if this was going to be a poor pay-per-view, you do not want a prelim like this.
Yeah,
because this was easily this is easily top 3 fight of the year. It's in the top 3 right now, and it's not going to leave. It's not going to leave. There's no way.
The Alex Oliveira, you meaning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Oliveira, Yancy Medeiros. Holy motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't. They dropped each other probably half a dozen times each.
That first round was
Like,
back and forth.
fuck. Like even at the end in the post press conference, Holloway was like joking around, going like, "Thanks, man. Now I won't get fucking fight of the night." Like, what the fuck?
He got screwed all over the place, Max Holloway. And then after the fights, his kid came out and he was dabbing all over the place.
Yes.
Max Holloway ain't getting no attention for nothing.
Yeah, no. Max is getting overshined out there, like shined out completely on multiple levels.
Yeah. The only people that care about Max right now are Hawaiians, and they might even care more about Rachel right now. God, he's in a tough spot. No, I want to see. I definitely want to see who Max fights next. Because is it going to be Frankie? I don't know.
Dropping out like I don't know if this is true. I saw or heard an interview with Dana White saying that it was an orbital bone that pulled Edgar out. So somehow during training he broke his orbital.
That's not good.
No,
that takes a while to recover.
Fuck, do you break your orbital during training?
Well,
like you're really sparring that hard that the guy's orbital breaks?
Here's probably what happened is that it was probably a total accident that they were just sparring and he threw a light kick and he also moved into it.
Maybe.
If I had to guess. Or maybe they were rolling on the ground and a knee fucking
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
like,
but
who knows?
To break your orbital in sparring should be a very difficult thing to do.
It should be difficult, but like who knows? The
fair
perfect circumstances where it just hit the right spot and just bah.
Yeah, I understand that, but fuck, man, that's some bad fucking luck for Edgar. Or if that is the case,
even after that recovers, it fucks up your eyeball.
If you're
depending on how it heals.
Yes,
like your face is going to feel different for the rest of your life.
Quite likely. Depending on how bad of a break it is. If it's just a little fracture, then maybe not.
If it's a little fracture and they can... That's the thing. They can't really do too much to help you heal.
No, if it's a fracture, you can't do anything. You just let them... You can't do jack shit to it. Then it could just shatter.
You just have to be super careful.
Yep.
So yeah, that Yancy Medeiros fight and Alex Oliveira, I can't... Just go watch it. It's hard to describe. It's just two dudes fucking going at it.
Yeah, like they're
super hard. And if you watch this fight and you go, "Oh, this fight's super boring. I don't like," then you don't like fighting. Just don't watch fighting. Don't listen to us anymore. You clearly just don't care. Watch some other sport.
Now, to just to the point of it almost too much was one of my problems, but. Because it could have been stopped much earlier, and I wouldn't have had an issue with it.
It could have. It could have
on both fighters, multiple. Like it was just like.
And this was Herb Dean too, right?
Yeah.
Well, Herb Dean
both took too much damage.
Herb Dean screwed up earlier in the night. The very first fight of the night, he called it way early. Was it the first fight?
Or
the second fight?
It was
no. There was the third fight.
It was the third fight of the early prelims on Fight Pass.
So he called that fight super early. The punch barely fucking landed. He just kind of slipped and fell. And he called that fight. So Herb Dean was like already on edge going into this fight. So he was gonna let somebody die before calling a fight. And that's what happened in this fight.
Like both fighters took so much to
and it happened to the point of it happened to Justin Gaethje too. Like and here's Joe Rogan, stop fucking making excuses for Herb Dean. Herb Dean fucks up all the time. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Joe. It's not getting better.
Joe is saying shit that he should not be on top. Like on just period, he's saying some stupid shit. I can't think of exactly what I'm thinking. Like,
well, the perfect example is when the dude got hit in the crotch and then hit in the head from behind when the ref was trying to stop it. And DC went, "That's not a fight finishing shot." And then Joe went, "I agree, DC." Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. Oh my god.
Yeah, but even he said some really stupid shit on during 218 as well, and I
Yeah,
can't.
no, I agree with you too.
Hey.
There was one spot I was pissed, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, but I think there was two things that he said in two different fights that were just absolutely stupid. Like he should not be saying that.
Well, the him defending Herb Dean, it's just he literally does it every time.
Yeah,
every time Herb Dean
that
fucks
I don't.
up, he just goes, "Oh, Herb Dean's a human, and we all fuck up." Why didn't you say that about Mario Yamasaki? Why didn't you say that about fucking the Italian dude? He didn't say that about them.
Fuck the Italian dude.
And Herb Dean, look, yes, Herb Dean refs all over the world, and he's allowed to fuck up. But lately, it's been too much. And you got to call that out. You can't just go, "Oh, well, he's Herb Dean. It's fine." No, he's been fucking up.
Yeah,
Plain and simple.
I would think there will be some. Like some of the fighters might be
it kind of
going
would be,
for.
It kind of would be like me going, "Oh well, Joe Rogan's been commentating in the UFC forever. He can say whatever he wants. I don't care."
Yeah, no, like it's just, Rogan's been saying some really bad things. Not like bad as in like racist or anything like that. Just bad as in just like just really stupid shit towards the fighters and like just the way they're doing stuff and the like just the way way he's saying stuff, I guess is where
to me it's funny that people freaked out about Snoop Dogg, right? And they were like, Snoop Dogg saying shit about the fighters, like it's not fucking when we're doing a full mount, okay? It's not a fucking position, bro. Chill out, Snoop Dogg. Don't call DC a bitch because he's crying. It's Snoop Dogg. He's getting high and drunk and commentating on fucking fights. What do you expect? You should expect more from fucking Joe Rogan. Is basically my point.
Yes.
To that.
Yeah.
Like
and
Snoop Dogg alone. Who cares?
Yeah. Like, and that's the issue that Rogan is supposed to be the veteran. Whatever, like he's supposed to be, he's there on the UFC's behalf, but then he's belittling some of the fighters and saying stupid things, and like I don't know. I just think he should be more professional.
Oh, and he clearly has favorites now.
Yes,
like it's very obvious.
I think that yes.
It used to be he used to be able to be impartial and not be as
and that might be what I'm having some issues with, is that he is definitely not impartial.
Okay, so let's go on to the next fight here.
Yeah,
David Tamer defeated Jakar Close. I actually kind of agree with the 29-28, but it was 30-27. The other two judges gave it to David. I thought Close probably maybe won the first or the second. I'm trying to remember what round it was now. But there was one of those rounds that was really close, and you could have probably swung it either way. I guess it was maybe the second.
The second and the third were pretty close in the numbers.
The third was definitely David. Like even if you look at the numbers, it was 100% David. The third one, he landed the most powerful shots. He did the most damage. Jakar at one point he was just standing there with his hands up in the air, going like, "Hey, come on, come at me." And it was just like, dude, you're not doing anything either.
Okay, that was the first round. Yeah,
you're not doing anything either. And then I think it was Herb. Was it Herb?
Dean.
No, it was Herb.
No, it was Herb Dean. Came and said that if you don't move forward, then I'll deduct a point.
Yeah, he did that to Tamer.
That's another thing. Yes.
Jakar Close is the dude that's fucking taunting. What the fuck are you doing?
Like he was like too much backstepping.
That's
Stop
ridiculous.
Backstepping,
that's
or I'll
ridiculous.
deduct a point. And that just made me almost shit myself. That hurt, like.
Yep. It's an off night for the refs this night. That's for sure. Especially Herb Dean. I don't have too much to say about the fight though. It was okay. Nothing amazing. Went to decision.
Was Herb Dean in Vegas the night before? Was Herb Dean doing the ultimate? No. Okay.
Felice Herrig versus Courtney Casey. And Herrig won.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that from watching the fight.
I thought it was close, that you could probably have.
I gave it 29-28 to Casey, but
it was a really close fight. It was not entertaining though. Was the problem?
Yeah, no, correct. Yes.
Here's the thing: the most entertaining part, they actually cut away from the camera because Felice Herrig, I guess she flipped off Courtney Casey, and then Courtney Casey also flipped her off, and I guess Felice flinged Booger at her.
Didn't pick up on that one.
And no, they cut away. They cut away
Okay.
from it. Yeah, you could still hear the commentary, but they were showing the crowd. I'm just like, what the no! I want to see what's going on. Yeah, that was seriously, that was the most entertaining part of the fight, and they didn't even show it. All right, and then the prelims. Amanda Cooper defeated Angela Magana.
Magana got her ass handed to her.
Well, her ass handed to her, and also she got a wardrobe malfunction in the second round.
Oh, didn't notice that.
Yeah, they stopped the fight for a second. They're like, "Oh, you gotta fix that." Yeah. So that happened. She got destroyed, like destroyed. And in the second round, she got taken to the ground and got punched a bunch. And is that how it finished, or did it get stand up? It got stood up. No, it got stood up, and then it got stood up, and then it ended on the feet, and then she fell back on her ass. All right, and then we talked about this earlier. Abdul Razak Al Hazan versus Sobah Hamasi ended with TKO punches, but it was kind of like phantom punches that really shouldn't have ended the fight, and Herb Dean called it early. So that was kind of shitty. Everybody was booing. Not a good scene. Sucks for both of these fighters too.
Yeah,
because
they've already rescheduled it for December 30th or whatever that fight is.
Good, because the 4 minutes before that was actually really entertaining. They were having a really good fight before the fuck up by Herb Dean.
Yeah, the Cyborg is that the 30th. Okay,
so that's at the end of the year.
Yep.
Dominic Reyes defeated Jeremy Kimball with a rear naked choke in the first. That's all I can really say about that fight. His name is Kimball. I thought that's a pretty cool last name. There's a lot you can do with nicknames with that name. All right, and then Justin Willis versus Alan Crowder, heavyweights, ended with a devastating KO with a one punch. It was amazing. And then after the fight, Justin Willis, he was is it Justin Wren? He called out an organization that gives water to Africa, I believe.
Okay.
Which is Justin Wren's project, and he's a Bellator fighter. Used to be in the UFC. He was on Tough.
Okay.
10, the one with the heavyweights. Yeah, I mean the UFC 218 was amazing all around. I loved watching the whole card. Some of it not that great, but it got offset by the other stuff that was all great. Like, my God, that Francis Ngannou knockout. I am so excited to see Ngannou versus Stipe now.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. That, I don't know who the fuck gets knocked out in that fight, but somebody's going to get knocked out in that fight.
Yeah. Like, Stipe is going to be pretty fast. And I would assume Stipe is likely going to go for the shot. Probably for some weird, like, ankle pick or something like that, to try to get him down or get him off balance and then punch him.
Yeah,
But will he be able to?
Will he be able to? And here's the thing: that the difference between their fights with what's his name? Freaking, why am I blanking on him? Alistair. Is Alistair didn't get any offensive attacks on Ngannou.
Well, he hit him once fairly well before he got knocked out.
But it was nothing like the Stipe fight.
No.
The Stipe fight was actually a kind of a come from behind win from Stipe.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That was weird. Like, that was weird in that, because Alistair just let go of.
Yeah, I know. He should have kept going. And then I watched.
He said he felt a tap or something like that, and there was clearly no tap. And then
I watched the Eddie Bravo Invitational yesterday. It was number 14. Let me get this out really quick. I want to get the names before I talk about it. It's not even on Wiki. Come on, give me somewhere. Give me the names. Okay, well, anyways, so the finale went to overtime. And if you don't know how overtime in EBI works, it has a top and a bottom. and you can choose to get somebody's back or get somebody in spider position, which is pretty much armbar position, but the guy's arms are locked and you gotta unlock them. So in overtime, what you do is it's kind of like a shootout in hockey, right? If you score on the top, the dude on the bottom has to score 2, right? And then it keeps going 3 times until somebody wins. And if it's tied the whole time, then it goes on who gets out earlier and faster in the 3. Anyways, so what happened? Holy shit, it was amazing. It started off on the back in the first, on the top of the first. It started with the back, but he actually transitioned to an armbar, and he had the armbar deep, dude, for at least 12 seconds, and he was torquing that shit all over the place, fucking bending his fucking wrist left and fucking bending it right, and I cannot believe he got out of it. He got out of it, and his arm seemed fine, and he got a fucking rear naked choke at the bottom of the first after that armbar attempt. So it was a super come from behind win, and it was an awesome fucking finals. EBI is fun if you're into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I could see how people would not want to watch that. And then Friday, there's a TKO from Quebec. If you want to watch it, that's on Fight Pass. There's an Invicta as well. That's also on Fight Pass. They're going on at the same time. So pick or choose which one you want to watch.
Yeah. But I guess it is Friday night, so that would be.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also an LFA on Access if you want to watch that. And then Saturday, Saturday has a lot of stuff. There's a 1FC. You can watch that on Fight Network in Canada. That's Saturday morning at 8:30. And then there's a Glory Kickboxing, and that's actually a pay-per-view that starts in the afternoon at 1:30 p.m. That's the prelims, and then the pay-per-view's at 4. There's Swanson versus Ortega UFC Fight Night, December 9th at 6:30. That starts with the prelims. And then there's the Bellator 190 is on Saturday night this week for some reason, which is from it's from Italy. So I'm assuming they're filming it Friday and then airing it Saturday. And that's it. That's all the events. The card for the UFC this weekend's not that great. The card after that one, though, Lawler versus Dos Anjos on Fox.
Yeah, that actually, like for a TV card, that looks really fucking good.
Glover Teixeira versus Misa Sirkunov. Ricardo Lamas versus Josh Emmett. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Mike Perry. Those are some pretty good fights. And oh damn, on
Lamas still doesn't have an opponent though. That's fucked up.
No, Lamas does. It says Josh Emmett here.
Oh, okay. On the UFC website, it doesn't say anything.
Okay, yeah, because Frankie Edgar and okay. Oh, this was supposed to be Aldo. That's right.
Yes.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yes. Like you have Dos Santos and Lawler, Lamas and Aldo. Fuck, that would have been a really good TV card.
And even some of these prelims are really good, man. Jan Blazkowicz versus Jared Cannonier is going to be good. John Makdessi versus Abel Trujillo is going to be good. Alessio Di Chirico.
Tim Elliott. And...
Dude, no. Alessio Di Chirico versus Aloha Bombose. Holy motherfucker. That's going to be... I'm assuming a KO in that fight. That's just my guess. And even the Fight Pass, like Eric Silva is the main event against Jordan Mean.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good fight to have on Fight Pass. Nordine Taleb, he's Canadian, right? I'm not. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Taleb is Canadian.
He's on the Fight Pass prelims.
Versus a fucking Sasquatch.
Like, look, I like UFC, so I can get excited about any card. Like, even this weekend, like, I'll watch it. Like, Marlon Moraes versus Aljamain Sterling. That's a good fight. There's some fights to look forward to. As if Marlon Moraes is already fighting. He just fought. Oh no. Okay, he fought. Yeah, no, he just fought Dotson. He literally just fought Dotson not 30 days ago. And now he's fighting Aljamain Sterling. Huh. Usually I would say that Marlon would probably win that fight. But since he's coming off so fast, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. And then in the prelims of this weekend, there's Luke Sanders versus Andre Sukumthot. That's also a pretty good fight too. There's stuff to look forward to if you want to get hyped about it, I suppose. But it's just a regular ass fight night. This is on Fox Sports 1. Hey, crazy. Fox aren't trying to fuck over UFC and air them on weird channels so that they get less viewers. I totally feel like they're doing that on purpose now. Because that contract is up at the end of the year, right? Is it this year or is it next year?
I'm not sure.
I think it's next year, actually. Do you know who the beer sponsor of the UFC will be next year?
No.
It will not be Budweiser anymore. It will be Modelo. Yeah. Get that Mexican beer. It's funny that it's Modelo. I've never... Have I seen them advertise fighting before? I've definitely seen Tecate and Corona. Well, those are the big two that advertise for fighting. I don't think I've ever seen Modelo advertise fighting. So this UFC TV deal ends...
Yeah, I think it's 2018.
Yeah.
From what I'm reading here.
Yeah, 2011. It's 7 years. That's 2018.
It says it expires in 2018.
Yeah,
I would assume that's the end of the... It just... What I'm seeing is 2018.
Yeah, I think it's the end of the year. Oh, and here's something else that we could talk about. UFC 218, I feel like it would be a perfect event to put on during Christmas. Remember when they did that thing last year with the Toronto event?
Yep.
218 was also really good. But what they could actually do if they wanted to do something a little bit different this year is they could pick and choose some fights. That Sydney fight, who was that on the prelims? That was amazing. Fucking goddamn it. Let me look this up. But I would put that fight on Fox, and I would put Alvarez and Gaethje on Fox also, and then I would put Oliveira versus whatever the other guy's name is.
I did not realize the UFC got that much for the Fox deal.
No, they got a lot.
Yeah, $90 million a year.
So yeah, it was Frank Camacho versus Damon Brown. Frank Camacho versus Damon Brown. Put that fucking fight at the end of the year on Fox.
The fighters see jack shit of that. That is so stupid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. It was stupid back then, but let's say they get a deal that's way bigger this time.
Yeah,
it would be ultra stupid for them to get nothing now. Because it's so transparent. It's like, that's the one thing you could point at and go, hey, look, you make this much more money. We should also be making more. Like, it's so obvious. You can just look at it on paper and go, hey, that's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And all the fighters should see it that way.
It's like $90 million with 25 shows is what they're indicating.
That's a lot of fucking money.
So let's do some calculations here. So 90 million divided by 25 is 3.6 million a show you're getting from Fox.
And that's just the Fox money.
Yeah. And so
that doesn't count the Modelo money they're going to be getting next year. That doesn't count.
No, but that's just for the Fox.
Oh, I know, but
that's just for the main event.
They're gonna have Modelo ads on those events.
No, I'm not 100% sure on how that would so the prelims of the pay-per-views, would that?
Yeah, that's part of that contract. That's part of that contract.
Okay, so it's a lot more than you're not dividing it by 25. So
yeah, but the thing about the production for those prelims is it's already done.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the thing that's another thing that sets apart the UFC from other sports. If you look at the production of the NFL, if you look at the production of NHL, they're primarily done by the people who run the TV channels.
Yes.
Like the UFC is the UFC. If you're buying the UFC, you're also buying their production.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. Because that's the thing. I know Showtime would be very interested in having the UFC, but if they would get the UFC, I know for sure that they would want to do their own production.
Right.
So that's probably why we'll never see them on Showtime unless they offer them an ass load of money. But I don't see them.
Well, for what I just read is there's going to be at least 4 bids for it.
I wonder who it is. It's definitely Fox. It's definitely Amazon. But then after that, who knows? Maybe ESPN. They just laid off 150 people.
Yeah.
So maybe they're
trying to get some of that money's around. Yeah.
Who knows? And the WWE, their contract is expiring the year after the UFC. So that's super interesting to see where the UFC is going to land, because it could actually probably affect the WWE more than we think.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know what's going on with the WWE at all. If
Fox is going to lose the UFC, I know for sure they're going to be interested in getting the WWE for sure. Because right now they have zero interest, none, and that's because they have the UFC.
Right. No, I'm just curious. Like, what kind of financials does the WWE get now?
So what do you mean by that? What kind of money do they make?
Yeah.
I want to say the WWE is more profitable than it's ever been before.
Really?
I think so, and that's because they've cut back on a lot of costs. And a lot of the money they make from their fans is going directly to them now, as opposed to pay-per-view is still more money than the network, but the network is more of a continuous stream of money coming in. Like a pay-per-view, if a pay-per-view sucks, it can do low numbers, and you're like, shit, we didn't get the money we were supposed to get. Well, with the network, it's more coming in, and they sell a lot more fucking merchandise than they did before.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like they did back in the day. Don't get it wrong. There was a lot of The Rock shirts and a lot of Stone Cold Steve Austin shirts, but now, man, they sell a lot of shit, which doesn't make sense because I never see it anywhere. But they sell a lot of shit, and they're a public company now too, so a lot of money exchanges hands there. And I know that their TV deal it goes up continually. Year per year, they make more money. So, yep. As long as the WWE has a TV contract, they'll never go out of business. Because that's the money. That's how it comes in. As long as they have that contract, they're good. With the UFC, it's totally different, right? I feel like the UFC right now could probably lose TV and be okay, because they have Fight Pass and the pay-per-view revenue is huge, and that's something WWE doesn't have anymore.
Yeah, I think they would just fall back on I don't think each show would be as large as they are now, because right now they're having,
they would probably do less of them.
Fights.
They would probably do less of them and get rid of a lot of fighters if that happened, but I think it would probably make the product better at the end of the day. Yeah, that would be awesome. Just have 10 pay-per-views a year and a few Fight Pass events. Yeah, I'd sign up for that. I like watching fights every weekend, but man, it gets tiring. All right, so next weekend there's an okay UFC. We'll talk about it, I suppose.
You're the WWE is actually, holy fuck, 17% year over year. Holy fuck balls, that's a big number.
Oh, that the contract goes up?
No. Just their revenue income. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the fourth quarter of 2016 was up 17% from the year.
Because they have so much control of the company that they can easily make the profits go up if they really, 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 really wanted to. Because that's what they did. They cut down on costs like a motherfucker. They don't have pyro anymore. They cut back on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so they're making just under 200 million a quarter. So
that's pretty all right.
Yeah.
For something that is nowhere near as popular as it used to be.
Yeah. So that's still 800 Damn. Okay. 800 million a year.
And that's I bet they could probably boost those numbers if they wanted to as well.
But that is their actual numbers.
Yeah.
Would be about 800 million a year.
Yeah, because when the TV contract expires, I'm assuming it's going to go up. I'm assuming it's going to go up.
Well, the freaking 17% year over year, man. Holy fuck. And like they had, I guess 2016 may not have been a good year from what that was indicating, or 2017 has been a really good year. I'm not sure, but
I don't think they necessarily have bad years. Because, like I said, the majority of their money comes from the TV contract, and as long as they and the TV contract goes up year over year. So, like in 2016, they might have made less money, but they probably spent more if they made less.
Yeah,
yeah,
and that could be what it is, something along those lines.
Yeah, they were probably expecting to make more money, so they spent
was
more,
earnings,
and they were like,
$800 million. That was $800 million of earnings for the company.
Yes.
So, fuck. That's not how much they actually get. That's just actual earning.
Oh yeah, no, they spend a lot of money. You look at their stage; they set that up every fucking day. Like even the house shows, it's not a big stage, but they still have to set it up.
Yeah.
Yep. I wouldn't want to run that. Seems like a very complicated job.
Well, we do have some news here.
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. Gokhan Saki.
There's really only 2 news articles because we spoke about one previously.
No, there's a few.
The Sajara Eubanks was hospitalized. We talked about that.
Yeah. So Gokhan Saki, I was getting so hyped about this fight, talking about it last week. Well, he got injured and he's not fighting Khalil Roundtree at 219 anymore. That sucks.
Indication of what?
I think it was his knee. Let me see. Injury. I'm going to look this up. I think it was maybe his knee. Reveals injury. It just says injury.
Okay. And typically that is what they do. They don't give away. It's like with Angela Lee and like it was anything retarded like that. I guess is more so what I'm like. That is just so.
No, I don't think he was dying. He was dying. Jason Miller was arrested on September 27th and charged with 5 domestic violence related felonies. Cool.
So he beat the shit out of his girlfriend, I take it?
Well, okay, so it says here he vandalized a former girlfriend's car and house and 2 misdemeanors for damaging cell phones.
Because they were taking photos of him while he was doing it.
I don't know.
That guy is so...
He pleaded guilty. Under the terms of his plea bargain, he has been given 3 years probation and 4 years prison sentence. Cool. Well, suspended prison sentence. So he's already done 62 days of that. So
nice.
He's gonna serve that at home, I think. So like it's like a
house arrest
thing. Yep. Stay at home, buddy. So I guess he has to do rehab and he has to be sober.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works.
That's likely not going to happen or stay.
Miller at one point seemed like he had his head on his shoulders. At one point in his career.
At one point, I would agree with that. And to a point, anyways, because he was always...
Well, because he was doing stuff and he was active, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
He had a show on MTV. He was a world-known fighter. Like, he might have been crazy, but he definitely had something there.
Like he was still in control to a point. Like he was weird and cool and funny, but to a point of being in control of what he was actually doing. And then he just did 180 to like, what the... And then he went into Jason Miller's world and did... I
remember when the cops were outside his house waiting for him to come out.
I don't.
And a standoff. It was like fucking a 6-hour standoff. He was like talking to his ex-girlfriend on his phone the whole time.
Like I don't fully understand how a human does that. Like what was the trigger to just completely put him over the edge and just make him go fucking mental?
Who knows, man? It could be drugs.
Was it drugs and alcohol? But he was never hugely successful to a point of being like John Jones. I can understand to a point that like he does some lines of coke and goes out and parties and does all that shit because he's fucking John Jones. Miller was never.
Who knows what drug
anywhere,
it is, right?
Yeah.
Could be some hallucinogenic that just knocks something off in his brain, and he's different now. Who knows?
Like to the point, Jones shouldn't have been doing what he was doing and did a lot of stupid shit. But like I can like he was fucking UFC champion at 24 or 23 or whatever. Like that shit fucks with your brain. Like you're being considered the best fighter of all time, and you're fucking 25 years old. Like
there's two dudes this week that came out and said that they want to be in the heavyweight Grand Prix as an alternate. So Rory McDonald,
yeah,
and then there's also oh man, what's his name? Shane Carwin. There you go.
Right, yeah.
Shane Carwin, I don't know what to think about him.
There was what's it? MMA Hour last week. He talked to Matreon, and Matreon was like, "Cool. I just want him tested because where the fuck has he been for the last 4 years?"
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I thought when he said that. Because his statement, he released a statement and he said, "When I'm healthy, I can't fight, meh, meh. And when I'm not healthy, I fought a lot, meh." I'm just like, well, dude, you're the one that signed up for a fight in Japan and got injured. It's not necessarily Japan's fault that you got injured.
Nope.
So,
but yeah, like it was just Matron was like,
yeah, you could have fought over there with all the drugs.
Fine with that. It just like there has to be some sort of testing period or something like that. Maybe like with Mir's fights not until April, so I guess there is like something there. But like if you start getting tested now, I have no fucking problem. But like you can't just show up on the doorstep and be juiced to the fucking gills and. Like it just the way Matreon said it was like it was okay. It's just, and Matreon was even going on about like people that do use anabolics or whatever should be charged with attempted murder if they go into the fight and get tested. Like and then that I'm like pretty harsh, but it definitely would stop people from doing it. It's
harsh, and if somebody gets murdered, then they should just be charged with murder.
Yeah. But the thing is, like,
you're knowingly doing something wrong and breaking the law, right? So,
you are technically breaking the law because using anabolics is against the law. So you should possibly even have criminal charges brought up onto you because you shouldn't have the drug to be able to put into your system. Now, technically they'd be going after the dealer or whatever, but the whole thing is just stupid and sketchy. Like. Within the U.S., it is against the law to have unprescribed steroids. Because that whole thing with the baseball thing, it's like they banned steroids completely. And then they came back and said, okay, the doctors kind of need this stuff for people to be alive. So we have to so it has to be a medical prescription from a doctor to be able to have steroids.
Huh. So Nico Montano and Roxanne Montefiore made $100,000 each. Because
they got 50-50 and they got fight of the night or something?
No, they both just got $100,000.
That's not horrible.
No bonus, no nothing, just straight up $100,000.
$100,000.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's for women's title, like for the first fight on national television or whatever. Yeah, that's not bad.
Cool.
And now all the other fighters got jack shit.
Well, yes. Well, hey, Sean O'Malley made more than double than he did his last fight. So, okay,
sorry,
no, not more than double. Almost more than double.
Sorry, who did?
Sean O'Malley. He fought on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contenders. The guy with the
he got hair. 20.
Yeah, he got 20 grand. I think Tuesday Night Contenders, I think he got maybe 12. Maybe 12.
Okay.
Maybe 8. It was maybe 8 or 12. One of those two.
Like 10 grand. That is bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that is fucking bullshit.
That's the standard contract, yo.
That is bullshit.
Yep. Let's see who got paid.
Like I could maybe see 20. Well, I don't like the win bonus shit, but
yeah, no, that should go away.
Or,
Joe Soto made the most, $31 that wasn't in a title fight. Yep. No, it's not a lot. If you combine all those numbers together, I bet it's not 3 point something million.
No, but that was 3 point whatever million for.
Oh yeah, just
I guess all the shows, but not just like they had 25.
Yeah, but
Fox
that is only the TV
Fox
money too, though. That's the thing.
Yes,
UFC makes way more money.
Oh yeah. No, but that was 90 million for the year but again, I don't know how. Again, as you're saying, like UFC is already putting up the money for setting up the ring and having the broadcasting shit and this and that. So like this, obviously, I would think might be included in one of those 25 shows. But it's just everything is so interlinked. Like I would say it's probably like $2.5 million a show, something in around there. So the UFC is just making $2.5 million every time they're on Fox.
Oh well, dude, of course they have so much money to loaners and all that they have to pay it back, right? So of course they're making an assload of money. They have to pay it back somehow right now.
Yeah, but they were making it when it was just like I don't know, like.
Oh yeah. Their hope is that
somebody gets their brains beaten in and they only get fucking 10 grand. Like I don't.
Hey, I'm on your side with this one. The fighters should definitely make more. Anderson Silva's talking about fighting Roy Jones Jr. again.
Wow. Yeah. Why? Who gives a shit? Like,
because he got tested positive and now he can't do anything else except that. So might as well talk some shit.
Would he be able to fight in boxing?
I don't know.
It would still likely be Nevada giving out the suspension, likely giving out the suspension or being.
What? No! I figured it out. It happened in China. It doesn't apply here. Nope. That's a UFC suspension. That's USADA's nothing. They're nothing. They're UFC.
Right. So the only way
Silva can't fight right now is in the UFC. He can literally fight anything else.
But they were handing out suspension. Like Vegas was handing out, or Nevada was handing out suspensions
to what?
To fighters.
Well, but this was
Chael Sonnen.
But this was in China.
But
so the commission in China is the UFC.
I guess they weren't licensed for a fight within their. Okay.
Yeah. So
once they're licensed,
so the license
in Nevada
of the commission and all that in China is the UFC itself.
Okay.
Yes.
That's weird.
Like when they fight in Australia,
just the UFC establishing a relations with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, saying that we'll hold up your.
Because the UFC has Mark Ratner is who they use when they go internationally, and he used to be part of the Nevada Commission.
Okay.
Yeah, but now he works for the UFC. See, all this shit is all bullshit.
That is
it's
really
all corrupted bullshit that should not be going on. But whatever, that's government for the most part.
But that's not even government.
Though. It is government.
The UFC's not government.
No, the commissions.
I know, but it's still well, yes, it's corrupt.
A commissioner should not fucking be able to work for a fucking promotion. Period. End of discussion. It doesn't matter if you retired. Fuck that. No.
Or have some And
Mark Ratner's a fucking idiot. He's like fucking Joe Rogan now. They're fucking phoning it in. They don't give a shit. They don't give any fucking shits. You remember that time with the knee happened and Mark Ratner's just like, oh, well, he wasn't grounded. Dude, his fucking knee was on the ground.
And how does Mark Ratner not know? He was part of the people that wrote the fucking rules, and he doesn't understand the rules well enough.
Because they're government. Nobody knows anything where they're actually doing the fucking laws and when somebody goes,
that's something that a fighters association should be making that shit. Then it's the fighters making the rules for the fucking fighters.
The commission should have fighters in it. That I have no problem with it. Yeah, the commission should not be hired by the promotions. Period. End of discussion. The fighters going to work for the commissions after they're done fighting. That's fucking awesome.
That actually makes sense. That would make sense. Because then you're also a fighter is giving a fighter a suspension for being a fucking moron or doing something they weren't supposed to be doing.
And you know way more about getting knocked out after a fight than fucking some commission dude that works for the government that just worries about doing bureaucracy shit.
Liddell is like half brain dead because it's just the amount of damage he took. If you can make sure that doesn't happen to someone else or something like that, would actually make
Bisping,
sense.
dude. Like, if somebody was in the UFC that actually gave a shit about fighters, that fight would have never happened.
Well, but again, that was also over in China. So then how does...
Well, that's what I'm saying. If somebody in the UFC gave a shit about fighters, that would have never happened.
Well, that should be coming under the Fighters Association more so than an actual...
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. And that's the problem, is that right now you have two divisions of fighters. You have the division that's like, the UFC's awesome, they do everything awesome, I don't give a shit. And then you have the division where it's just like, we got to do something about this. And to get those two together, it's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Because you have so many different people on different sides. You have maybe GSPs on one side, and then you got low level dude on the other side, right? And then maybe Connor's on the other side of GSP. But, you got to have all of them on the same fucking side. You can't have a low card dude be with the high card dude on both sides.
Yeah.
It's just, it's never going to work out. It's going to take a long time before that shit works out. Because it's so dumb. It's so dumb. When you see something that... It's so weird. You can just literally look at it and go like, well, that's not right. You don't even need to be an expert in anything. It's not like you need to have experience in life and had a job for 30 years and working for the IRS or whatever and know how to do math. No. Just look at this. This is how much money they make, and this is how much more money their employer makes. Is that fair? No? Cool. Let's fix that. Especially when it's like the numbers are out there. It's really easy to see.
Well, the UFC doesn't necessarily disclose.
Oh well, like the numbers that you can see is already egregious, right? Imagine the numbers you can't see.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's already obvious.
Because again, the pay-per-view numbers online you don't see.
Yeah, and
so
pay-per-view 190,000 or what? 890,000 or 900,000 was the 217. That's like
925, 950 or something like that. Yeah.
So like that's 50. Well, I think the lowest is 40. So it's like $40 to $60 a pop, $70, depending on where you buy it.
Yeah. Well, because online you can have the standard stream of the HD stream, and there is a price difference.
Not online. Not online. Online is all one price. It's only on TV that you pay for SD and HD.
Okay.
No, because YouTube I think is the lowest price you can get, and you can watch it in any quality you want, up to 720. Okay. But yeah, I mean it's whatever. It's hey, I'm not a fighter. The UFC is not paying me. So ultimately, I don't really care.
Yeah, well, this all just works out in the UFC opposed to anyone else's.
Oh yeah, like even like Dana right now, Jesus Christ. Dana made so much money on that sale, and he's still making money right now.
Yeah.
He has 8% of the UFC.
I thought he sold that.
Nope.
No, I thought it came like
well, maybe he sold his parts, but then he got it back.
He did.
The new owners gave him, I want to say it was 8. It might be 4. No, 4 is the two. They gave 2% to the two Fertitas. So the Fertitas still have 2% in the UFC each. And Dana is the one that has the most because he's still there. They gave him 8.
Because he had 16 or something like that, and then he sold some of it, and I thought he sold more after the fact.
Well, he might have sold 100%, but the new owners gave him a stake in the company when they hired him. Because I think his salary is I think he said it at one point, but I don't remember. It's pretty all right. His salary's pretty okay.
I'm sure it would be.
Anyways, yeah. It's definitely better than any fighter. Which okay, maybe not any.
I wouldn't say about any fighter.
Maybe not any. Sorry, Any low card fighter. There you go. How about that?
Obviously.
Any.
Well, I would assume he'd be getting mid seven figures.
Yeah, I think I heard that it was
Like
800.
No, you'd be getting more than that. 7 figures. So mid 7 figures would be like 5 or 6 million a year.
I don't think it was that much because I don't remember. I don't remember how much.
But now again, well, as being a CEO or a president, you get bonuses based off of how well the company's doing.
Sure.
And I'm sure those aren't disclosed directly.
I don't know what Dana White is technically right now to the UFC.
He's president.
Okay, president
of operations.
Okay. Cool. I wouldn't be surprised if someday he's just the promoter. Just I'll go. I'll be over here. If you need me to talk about GSP, I'll come out sometime and go like, "Hey, GSP's back, guys. I'm out." That's pretty much what he did for fucking 217.
Yeah.
He was not excited at all for any of 217. It's just like, yeah, well, GSP's back. He's the best fighter ever. What do you want me to say? Watch the pay-per-view. He's awesome. All right.
Yeah, so he got $360 million for the sale.
Okay. A little signing bonus.
No, that was for his stocks.
Oh, okay.
Or his share of the company.
350 mil? That's what you said?
360 million.
Oh, 60.
And he's getting okay, so we're both wrong, but 21 million over a 10-year period for his job. So he's getting 2.1 million a year.
That's pretty good. That is more than 99% of the fighters. Yeah,
probably. Yeah. 99 actually probably be about the right number on that.
Oh, I'm not kidding, because it's probably just Conor. It's probably just GSP.
It would be the champions. It'd be all the champions, and then you still have. I know I'm not necessarily all the champions.
Yeah,
I know, but like the thing is, you're talking multiple fights for some of the champions. They could maybe get up to that with bonuses and stuff like that.
I guess so.
But so you're talking what, like 18 people out of the 700 and something people they have fighting contracts with, like
so it's less than 99%.
Yeah, like what the fuck? And he's not getting, like, yes, he goes around the fucking world. He's on planes all the time. He does that weird show or whatever with Sarah, which it seems to be more of a joke than anything else.
Oh no, that show's fine.
But he's then getting 2.1 million a year to do all that. And I'm assuming most of his shit's all expensed out and everything like that. That's not his expense account.
Oh, he's not paying for the flights.
Exactly. So like it is probably more like $4 million a year with all the expenses and foods and shit he eats and does, and like all his hotels or whatever and this and that. So
it's ultimately, honestly, it's probably worth it. But
dude, the guy works like 360 days a year. I'm not saying he doesn't, but for him, so do the fighters.
Oh yeah.
And to the point that someone's getting paid 10 grand for 3 fights, so $30,000, and that's before taxes. So depending on what state you're in, you could maybe be making like $20,000 a year. What the
and you gotta
fuck
consider
is that?
You gotta consider where the fight is too, because you're gonna be paying taxes where you fight.
Yeah,
not where you live. You might be paying taxes both places.
You'd be paying both because you're making. Well, no, I don't know how. I don't know if you'd be paying taxes on where you're fighting.
Yeah, it's possible that you don't. It's possible.
I don't know on how. Like, cause you're not getting paid by the state. You're getting paid by the UFC. So you'd be paying federal and state tax or provincial tax if you're a GSP or something like that. So, but the thing is, GSP lives in Canada. They want that, but then he'd also have to do an American income tax because he works for an American company.
He gets taxed twice. Yeah.
Yes. So now the American federal tax isn't all that high relative to Canadian.
Well, and it depends where he. It depends where he fights. If he fights in New York, it's going to be more.
I don't think that would make a difference if he's fighting in New York.
All right.
It would just be he's getting paid. He has to pay American income tax, federal income tax, and then he's getting paid. Or doing federal and
no, I think that they do pay taxes in the state that they fight, because I'm pretty sure John Jones said that he doesn't want to fight in New York ever because the taxes are higher.
I don't know. It just doesn't really make that much sense to me because you are getting paid. I don't know. It is weird when you're starting to do that shit. It's okay. You're getting double taxed or whatever. Like, because the thing is, you'd even be paying state tax for wherever you live because when you put in your income tax, you have to then put in how much you made. And I suppose if you're getting taxed already, but I don't know how it works. I don't know. Yeah,
because I remember a lot of people were complaining about fighting in New York.
Mm-hmm. So okay, if you are doing 3 fights a year, and you lost all 3 fights, okay, no, so fuck that, you win 3 fights, so you get $60,000. You didn't get any win bonuses, so you get $60,000.
That's literally nothing.
American, and you're probably gonna get, if you're getting taxed through to federal, state you fought in, and state you live in. Mm-hmm. Like, what, you get 40,000?
And well, you're a fighter too, so you're not eating McDonald's every day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, like your food costs and all that shit you're paying your coaches, the gym.
Like there's so much shit you got to pay.
So like that 40,000, you'd be spending it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think you can make mortgage payments or anything like that on that.
No. All the fighters have second jobs. Unless you're on the top 1%. That's even top 0.1%.
Well, fucking 1%. Demetrius fucking has a second job that he makes probably pretty close to what he makes in the US. Like,
it's his second job, the streaming.
Okay. Yeah. Well, from what he makes on, because he actually can have sponsors on his stream, so he gets a good amount of money from that shit. Yes. And then plus
donations and shit too.
Yeah, exactly. So he probably makes a pretty good mint on that because A, who he is, and B, how much he does it. So he just has a following of people that do shit or that follow him and pay money and do this and do that, buy his merchandise, do this, do that. Like, I'm pretty sure he's probably doing 200 or 300K from his streaming a year on top of then his fighting, which he's probably making 500 or 600.
Man, how does he have time to train?
Well, like, because DJ doesn't get the many pay-per-view dollars, so I don't know what his deal is though. So
let's say I'm gonna assume that he makes at least $500,000 a fight.
I would hope so, but I think it would be more like 250.
At this point, I sure to hope that it's $500,000 at least.
It might be half. Like, it does depend on if he has a win bonus. But
at this point, I wouldn't doubt if he fought that before. But in 2017, I hope to God he makes at least that much.
250 or is it 500?
It might be 250, but what's the difference? He wins every time anyways.
Yeah, but but there is a difference to the point of just what happens.
No, because
if something happens,
I don't know if you would want to give the champion a win bonus anyways. So I think you would just negotiate a straight up money number.
Maybe to a champion. I don't know how old his deal is and all that shit too. Like, when was the last time he?
I would imagine for a champion, you would not want to give him a win bonus. Just say this is how much you get every fight.
But again, though, he's not. Yeah, I'm sure he has a deal for pay-per-view dollars, but he's been in 2 pay-per-views over the last 8 years.
He complained about that, so I want to say he's had pay-per-view money maybe the last year, maybe year and a half.
Oh, he just made a new deal?
Yeah, because he was complaining that he didn't have pay-per-view before, but I'm pretty sure he does now. Like, I'm 99% sure that he has.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like just the deals that they set up is just really fucking wonky to me. And because again, like, he doesn't see any of that Fox money, and they're getting fucking monies from that Fox money. So I don't fucking know.
No, and he makes a good amount of money, I'm sure, and I'm sure it's all right, but he could be making more. And the thing is, I bet that when he looks at his money, he's probably content and satisfied and goes like, cool. Yeah. But he should probably not be that way, and he should probably.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if he's doing his contract. He might actually have somebody.
100% he has somebody doing it.
And the thing is, he's saying, well, if this shit doesn't go well, I'll just quit or whatever, retire and go work at Costco for $20 an hour. I'm good.
Yeah, and then he can just do that on top of Twitch.
Yeah, like I'm sure he makes enough money. He could just do that and be perfectly fucking fine. Another thing is, how long will people follow him once he's no longer the UFC champion and all that crap? I don't know, but
how many of them actually care?
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. Like, and he is a person that, like, he is a cool dude that. Whatever. And him and Max stream together a lot, apparently. So
he kind of reminds me about he reminds me of Roxanne Modafferi a little bit, where
like
they're cool,
strange dude.
But I just don't really care about seeing them fight all that much.
Oh, I like DJ fighting.
Oh, I like DJ fighting too. I'll watch him every time, but I'm not hyping it up every time. You know, I'm not. It's not a GSP fight or a John Jones fight.
The only dude I really get excited for is fucking Holloway. Is the only dude I really like. And
how can you not get hyped for John Jones?
Because he hit a pregnant woman with his fucking car.
Well, he didn't know that it was a woman to begin with. Okay, first of all, okay.
So he just hit a random body and drives away. That makes it so
no, I'm just saying he did not have the power of hindsight to go, oh, that's a pregnant lady, I'm gonna try to avoid her. Oh shit, I hit this building instead. You know, he did not.
But okay, it's not so much that he hit her or hit somebody. He fucking drove away.
No, he ran away.
He physically ran away?
Yes,
I thought he got back in his car.
No, the car was not drivable anymore. He got out, he started running, and he went back to the car. People assume he left weed in there or something, and then he ran back out.
Oh my god. That is even worse. Actually, I don't know if that's worse, but that's still really fucking bad.
Mm-hmm. And then you have white crime just sunning over there.
Car, like, he hit a woman. How is the car not drivable? I guess the windshield was crushed or something.
No, I guess he sideswiped her and the car wasn't starting anymore. Some cable got knocked loose and the battery wasn't connected anymore. I don't fucking know what the fuck happened.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wasn't he driving a Ferrari or a Corvette or something? Like, what was he?
If I had to guess, it's probably like some BMW something.
I can't remember. I'm sure I kind of remember hearing about the car.
It was black.
But
I remember that. It was black. I just don't remember what it was.
Okay, so I'm just reading more about this Dana White contract. So he is guaranteed $21 million over 10 years. And depending on what his new deal could make him annual salary of $18 million plus with bonuses.
A year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Now that's more than any fighter.
His annual salary about 18 plus million.
Conor would have to fight.
Conor
would have to fight 6 times to make that money.
Oh no, that's without pay-per-view dollars though.
Oh, I guess so.
So you'd have to fight 3, 2 or 3 somewhere in between. I don't think 2 would be quite enough. Because I think it's somewhere around 7.5 or 8 that he gets. So he'd be around 16 after 2. So you'd have to fight 3 times to make that. Now that is depending on bonuses. Now what those bonuses are. Like, there could be some astronomically stupid bonus that he gets some stupid amount of money if it makes like $14 billion in 1 year or something. Mm-hmm. But those are some ridiculous fucking numbers.
I think that's MMA for this week. I think we have anything else to talk about. There's a lot of MMA this weekend, but it's nothing crazy. So if you don't want to watch indie MMA or some fight night in some random town, I don't even know where it is.
Is that this week or is that next? I guess it would have to be this week.
Oh, well, yeah, the fight night, Ortega and Swanson.
Yeah. That is the only fight I give a shit about.
Yeah.
Like, that fight I want to watch and then nothing else.
It's in California, Fresno.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's not too much to get excited about. That Fox event is going to be fun. That pay-per-view at the end of the year could maybe be fun. I don't know. We'll see if they add something else to it. I doubt it at this point, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard to add. Like it's
Well, something it's gonna be hard to add something good. They can add.
Yeah.
They could definitely add to it. It'll just be some okay fights.
yeah,
It definitely won't be Conor
there should be
McGregor
one more
because he's
fight.
going
There's 11 fights.
crazy.
There's 11 fights set up.
Oh well, yeah, they could just end right there if they wanted to.
Yeah. So well, you'd have 5 for the pay-per-view,
Yeah.
four
and then
for the TV, and then one.
for the prelims.
Yeah.
They've done that before.
Yeah.
This weekend was oh no, Ultimate Fighter was one fight on Fight Pass, but UFC 218
That was the
had
ultimate. That wasn't a
bunch.
freaking pay-per-view.
Yeah. They had a lot of TV.
Like 118 or 218, they had 4, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I would think they typically try to do 2 prelims on Fight Pass.
Yeah, usually they
and then
do
would
2 or
have
3.
4. Because like if you're only doing one, what the really. So I would think you're gonna try to get 1 or 2 more fights. Now, what they are they any good?
Well, everything streams on Fight Pass anyways, depending on where you live. Some countries where the UFC is not on TV, it's all on Fight Pass.
Yeah. So you should just try to tunnel bear into fucking Jerusalem or something like that.
I have a TSN feed online anyways, so it works out for me.
No, but would you get the pay-per-view?
No, but
No.
you would still have to pay for that on Fight Pass anyways.
What, like the UK? If you're in the UK or whatever, you get it on TV at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
Yes.
You wouldn't get it free on Fight Pass.
I don't think so, because you don't get ads on Fight Pass.
That's true. And it might be fucking around with the UK deal or the Europe deal that or something.